Hello, and thanks for coming to part 2 of my 2-part channel premiere where I am still a big Spidey fan, and that's never going to change. You know what else doesn't change? Spider-Man's relevance, so let's hop right back into this. Welcome to The Critique, where we watch some animated goodies and determine whether we should tune in or tune out. I'm Song, your resident cartoon connoisseur, and this is the second season of Spectacular Spider-Man. After the great success of Season 1 of Spec Spidey, it came as no surprise that there would be a Season 2. However, this time it began its run on June 22nd, 2009 on Disney XD, since Kids WB was shut down now and Disney XD itself had just launched. The producers were under the impression that the renewal depended on the Season 2 ratings on the new channel, and though that wasn't quite what ended the show, did they truly earn their Season 3? How about we make that call? Generally, a key difference between anime and Western animation is the fact that the theme song tends to change every season in anime, but not so much for other cartoons. As such, Spectacular Spider-Man by the Tenderbox returns to Spec Spidey as both the opening and ending theme song, same as Season 1. I personally like when a show keeps their opener because I believe that it is part of that program's identity. For example, if I were to play the opening bars to Kim Possible's theme song, I'm pretty sure most, if not all of you connoisseurs out there would be able to identify the show right away. That said, I also like when the show changes up the visual sequence between seasons, and that does not happen here. It is the same thing from the last season, even down to clips from the first few episodes of Season 1. I really wish they would have changed some of the animation or episode clips to reflect the new season. Of course, that's not to say there's nothing new. The opening credits now list the significant characters that will be present in any given episode, which I suppose is better than nothing. I just kinda wish there was a little bit more.
Spider-Man. Spider-Man. It's catchy.
As far as presentation, it has seen a natural improvement that would be expected as time goes on. By that I mean nothing has really been changed drastically, but you can still tell between the end of Season 2 and the beginning of Season 1 that the quality has gradually gotten better visually. Gwen Stacy even gets a complete makeover partway through Season 2, which, yeah, it looks good. Different, but good. Now, I failed to mention it in my last video, but this show has some great writing. The quips and cracks that Spider-Man makes during his crime-fighting adventures are top-notch, and when the show needs to be more serious and dramatic, the transitions are seamless. My immersion from Season 1 is absolutely still present, and I do have to credit that to the awesome writing and delivery. That said, there's this weird thing where maybe 4 or 5 episodes in a row are told in past tense using flashbacks. And it's not like backstory type flashbacks either, it's that thing where you see the outcome first and then you see how they got there, or the story gets constantly interrupted by an unrelated scene that's supposed to be symbolic. These are fine as episodes, but it's strange to see so many in a row, though not particularly intrusive. Speaking of story, this is the biggest difference between Season 1 and Season 2, and I really think it's for the better. Alright, so the season starts right where the last left off, and you, the audience, missed nothing. This is much appreciated and keeps things cohesive. And right off the bat, we get taken to a story arc that starts and ends, and then another one that starts and ends. It is a big improvement over the first season, where the villain arcs actually have actual payoffs, and it's great. The Venom Identity Crisis storyline was particularly spectacular, among others. That said, we still have to address Tombstone's arc, and so they did. 9 episodes into a 13-episode season. And even then, it ended so quickly that there was no reason really to ever have it there in the first place.
What? No high fives? No kumbayas? I'm shocked. Shocked, I tell you!
It was just kind of dumb. Though, overall, it's kind of funny how Season 2 has an opposite problem as Season 1, in that the Spider-Man stories are much better than the Peter Parker stories. The vast majority of his issues revolve around his girlfriend Liz and actual love interest Gwen, and it starts to get old quickly in my personal opinion. But by far, my biggest gripe is the ending. No spoilers, no worries, but let me just rant a little bit here. The finale to Spectacular Spider-Man was one of the greatest things I've seen in animation. The fight was amazing, the jokes were on point, and the reveals were genuinely surprising, even after I knew the outcome from watching this before. But then it concludes, leaving a ton of loose ends and teases for a Season 3 that would never happen. It's like you could see a bunch of closure in the near future along with new adventures, and Disney just came in like, snip! So here's a PSA to all you TV execs out there. If you're going to cancel a show for any reason, which is a perfectly understandable and natural thing to do, please do so a season in advance so that the show creators have time to close off everything they can before their show ends. Thank you. Spec Spidey continues to expand on their roster of characters and has a big focus on the relationships between them. In some cases, it's a bit too much focus, but whatever. All VAs return to reprise their roles, and all of them are just as good, if not better, than they were in Season 1, as to be expected. The support gang is all here with newcomer Mark Allen and, well, do you remember this guy? This guy right here that I said you would probably forget in my last video? Oh boy, Hobie Brown. They have a running gag with him that lasts the entire season without being overdone, and the payoff for him in the end was just beautiful and I loved it. Kudos, Spidey team, kudos. The villain roster grows too, adding the likes of Mysterio and Kraven into the mix, including others like Silver Sable and Calypso. Tombstone returns for no actual reason, though I suppose I would have been more angry if he didn't, and we have other vets like all of the Sinister Six and Goblin. Also, Chameleon showed up, and it was amazing. With the exception of Tombstone, which I think I've grabbed on enough, there are no villains that I particularly disliked, and most of everyone got their own time to shine and be fun and intimidating to watch. I went into this season loving Mysterio right off the bat and going, sorry Gabi, you've been dethroned for best villain. But then Gabi shows back up better than before and reclaims the top spot. They did a really good job, and I'm really glad that they were able to keep this up throughout both seasons of Spectacular Spider-Man. Overall, Spectacular Spider-Man Season 2 was an improvement on what Season 1 built, and fixed some of the issues I had with it. Peter's personal life got stale sometimes, but you could tell that they were doing their best with it, and it wasn't bad by any means. Of course, the real star this season was Spidey himself, and all of his problems and adventures conglomerated into one epic season that definitely deserves more time. For these reasons, I recommend tuning into Spectacular Spider-Man. But hey, that's just me. What do you think about the show? Let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know about what else you would like to see as I work to grow my new channel. If you liked this video, please leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss out on more. Thanks for watching!